Live from Hazard, Kentucky, this is Jammin John's Wrestling News. Here's your news for Monday, May 6th, 2019. We start off with some breaking news out of the WWE. Fightful.com is reporting that Ryan Callahan, who is one of the lead WWE writers for several years, was fired last week. Now, Sean Ross Sapp noted that the firing actually has nothing to do with ratings, viewership, storylines, or anything of the sort. The belief is that the firing was due to issues that Callahan had with fellow writer Dave Kapoor, aka Rajan Singh. Kapoor apparently believed that Callahan set a bad example for the rest of the writing team by being difficult to work with and taking creative changes too personally. Stay tuned to Jammin John's Wrestling News for any further breaking news updates on this story. In addition to Roman Reigns, the belief is that other SmackDown stars will be appearing on tonight's Monday Night Raw since the SmackDown house show that was scheduled for tonight got postponed. Here is what Twitter account at WrestleVotes noted about tonight's Raw. WrestleVotes tweeted on Twitter, two sources indicate a handful of SmackDown superstars are set for tonight's Raw, including the return of Daniel Bryan. The XFL sent out the following press release today. The XFL today announced multi-year agreements with ESPN and Fox Sports to televise XFL games starting with its inaugural 2020 season. The XFL games will air weekly on broadcast TV, ABC, and Fox, complemented by games on cable, ESPN, ESPN2, Fox Sports 1, and Fox Sports 2. The XFL TV schedule allows for consistent appointment viewing each week with back-to-back games starting Saturday afternoons at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, as well as 2 additional games on Sunday afternoons. We look forward to showcasing the XFL on ESPN and ABC, including the kickoff game and championship during the league's inaugural season, said Burt Magnus, ESPN Executive Vice President of Programming and Scheduling. Vince McMahon and Oliver Luck are two of the sports industry's most creative and experienced leaders, and they have exciting plans for this league. We believe in their vision for the XFL, which will be a great addition to our year-round commitment to football. We welcome the XFL to the Fox Sports family and are pleased to expand our relationship with Vince McMahon, said Eric Shanks, the Fox Sports CEO and executive producer. Football is in Fox Sports DNA and a key component of our programming strategy. Alongside Oliver Luck and his incredible team, we're excited for the debut of the XFL on Fox Sports. We are thrilled to partner with ESPN and Fox Sports, two innovative media companies with extensive experience in world-class football production that will undoubtedly help us reimagine football, said Vince McMahon, the XFL founder and chairman. The XFL broadcast schedule provides us with incredible reach and makes it easy for fans to watch our games consistently every weekend. The agreements were negotiated by CAA Sports and Evolution Media Capital on behalf of the XFL. The XFL will kick off on Saturday, February the 8th, 2020, with teams in Dallas, Houston, Los Angeles, New York, St. Louis, Seattle, Tampa Bay, and Washington, D.C. Additional XFL-themed programming and on-air talent will be announced in the future. In an article on Forbes.com regarding WWE's declining ratings, former writer Court Bauer noted the following by saying, WWE has been tracking downward in the ratings since I was at WWE in 2007. Fans are sophisticated. They're selective. They are pursuing other outlets for pro wrestling. The climate is eerily similar to 1995 in that consumer appetite was sinking for WWE, but the hunger was still there. Fans, including myself, sought out something different, and I found it in ECW and WCW. Technology has also helped move it along, as with just 2 or 3 clicks, you could be streaming something from anywhere at any point. I see wrestling represented on the streets of New York. I see it threaded through the cultural fabric today, maybe more than ever before. WWE is like McDonald's. They're global, affordable, and readily available anywhere, anytime. But society wants more gluten-free, organic, or just something different. Sure, McDonald's, like WWE, is everywhere, ready to be consumed, but not many enjoy digesting it. The Forbes article also had comments from Conan, who said, "Somewhere along the way, WWE lost their way. I work in Mexico and I help put together a live show, but it's like a 2-hour show and that's it. They're doing a 3-hour show on Monday and then a 2-hour show and all that original content in WWE Ride Along and Table for free. SmackDown is usually better because it's only 2 hours and their storylines are better. A lot of times at the end of the day, it's what Vince McMahon wants, and it shouldn't be what he wants, it should be what the fans want. And with all this criticism towards WWE, in a recent interview with Fightful.com, Eric Bischoff commented on WWE's production by saying, "When you talk about production values, you have to look at it from more than one perspective. Whose graphics are cooler? Who's got the better pyro? Those are obvious things. Going from tape to live had a far more significant impact on the wrestling industry than cool graphics. Even today, I love WWE's product. Nobody can come close to producing them. For my taste is, it's a little too glossy, it doesn't feel live, there's no sense of urgency, the feeling that anything can happen, that's a big advantage of going live. You condition the audience to believe or to feel, even subconsciously, because it's live and a little more dangerous because anything can happen. That's something that drives viewership for wrestling, or at least it used to. I think by producing a show that's too glossy, you almost forget that it's live. That's just my own taste. That doesn't mean I'm right, that's just how I feel about it." All Elite Wrestling's Double or Nothing event is currently scheduled to be available on traditional pay-per-view, with AT&T's UVerse showing a 7 p.m. Eastern listing on May 25th. There hasn't been an official announcement yet about Double or Nothing being available on streaming devices. Speaking of All Elite Wrestling, regarding Chris Jericho challenging for the IWGP World Title in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Jericho's AEW deal allows him to work dates outside the company, and it's not a matter of AEW and NJPW having a business relationship. Here's what Dave Meltzer of F4WOnline.com said regarding the situation. Meltzer said, "It's not an AEW booking. It's not a sign that AEW and New Japan are working together. There's no change in that. There's no relationship and there's no change in that aspect right now. Hopefully someday there will be, but right now that's not the case." Thanks to RingsideNews.com for the quote. And finally, here on Jammin John's Wrestling News, Mike Johnson of PWInsider.com noted the following regarding the Impact Plus streaming service and what it means for GWN users. Mike Johnson said, "We are told Impact invested quite a bit of money in upgrading the technology for their Impact Plus streaming app, converting it over from the former GWN app. Subscribers of former will have their accounts imported over to the new app." That is your news for Monday, May 6, 2019. Check back here tomorrow for another Jammin John's Wrestling News Flash Briefing on Amazon Alexa devices, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, and iTunes. Follow me on Twitter at John Caldwell, JONCOLWELL. Follow me on Instagram, The Jammin John. If you'd like to sponsor Jammin John's Wrestling News or your wrestling promotion, wanting to get your next big event out, you can email me, jzcaldwell@gmail.com. That's JZCOLWELL@gmail.com. Big shout out to Ryan Hurdle and Tony Nelson for subscribing to my Patreon. You too can subscribe to me by going to patreon.com/jamminjohn. I have free packages on there ranging from free to $7. Not a whole lot of money. I would really appreciate it if you supported me a little bit financially. Once again, that's patreon.com/jamminjohn. This is Jammin John saying thanks, goodbye, and I'll see you tomorrow.